Alright folks, here's what we got going on today. I bought this saw probably, I want to say probably 98, 99, something like that. Basically when I moved into this house, and it was a really great saw. This is a Stihl 025. Probably the first professional saw that I ever purchased with my own money. It ran for a number of years. I don't know exactly when I put it up. And one day it just stopped running. And basically the culprit ended up being this. And back then, you know, we had one saw shop in town. Priced that out and it was $138. So I was like, there's no way. I just bought a new saw and kept on with it. Well, I found this thing and I was like, you know, times have changed. Amazon's around. Let's see if we can beat the $138. So I found one of these. They're about 11, 12 bucks, something like that now. And I basically disassembled the saw. I had to wait a little bit longer because of COVID. You know, Amazon's behind on shipping. So I patiently waited about a week and a half. And it came in. And hopefully I'm going to get this saw running again. There's a couple of things more now that I'm going to replace because it's set for so long. Fuel lines, the vent line, a couple of things like that. But I basically got everything to fix this saw, to completely rebuild it if I have to. But I'm going to start with only the things I have to. So we're going to get this replaced and see if we can get this saw working. Again, this is more of a sentimental thing. The saw is actually in really good shape. The bar and a chain are almost new. I just replaced it before it quit running. Alright, well, we're going to get to it and see how this works. Alright, so this is the kit that I got on Amazon. And this is a big thing that I needed. This already has a hole in it. So we'll be replacing that. And it came with a fuel filter and a spark plug. It came with a new carburetor. But the most important thing is this right here. This is a replacement for that. So we're going to take a look here and see how close this is. It looks, just from eyeballing, it looks really close. It came with new wires as well. And we'll get this swapped out. Okay, so we're going to put these screws back in. If you don't know, most of the stuff in a Stihl chainsaws, T27. We're just going to get this kind of loosely fitted here. Then we're going to put a business card between this electronic ignition module and tighten it down and hook everything else back up. And then we'll address the fuel issues. There's some important stuff you want to take care of here. Make sure that you reroute the wiring the way that it was. The saw has a lot of vibration. If you don't put everything back the way it was, it could come loose while you're operating it. I'm just going to get it fully seated here. We'll use the old CPR card trick. Spin the magnet side around. And normally these will kind of suck in to the magnet. Like so. Okay, now we got a gap set. I'm just going to route that as close as I can to the way it was before. And that should be everything in here that needs to be done. So we can put this back on now. And this weird one, don't forget it goes in to your brake. Okay, the only other things I know I have to fix on this saw is the breather line and pretty much rotted itself off, and this hose. So that's pretty close. It's not exact, but you can kind of see what it's going to do there. It's kind of going to look like that when we're done. And it's actually way easier to do this if you have this plastic piece off. Normally this will fit down through the hole and you can put this in order. In my case, I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to have to kind of pull this over with something and put this filter on later. I'm going to try this. Looks like that'll actually fit up the other way. Obviously I was able to push it through all the way. Okay, that's in there, and I was able to work it in. I'll save me a little bit of time trying to fish that thing out. And that fuel filter, there's a little baffle back there. You want to push that in behind that baffle. That'll hold it where it's supposed to be. And there's a little gasket here, and there's a metal plate goes on here. We're just going to clean that off and slide all that back on. Now I got some throttle linkages to put back on. I'm working with limited light here. It's really hard to see this back linkage. This just pops back in. Just testing everything, make sure there's no interference, make sure everything works. Okay, I'm gonna go grab a socket and we're gonna finish putting this carb on. Okay, so we refurbished our vent line here. It's basically got two, looks like little set screw things. So I screwed one of them up a little bit further just to be able to get the vent line on. I'm gonna put this air cleaner back on. And then we'll be able to reassemble our trigger assembly. And I noticed on a lot of other videos, a lot of people were trying to pull this up. You can do that. You can get this all the throttle linkage apart without taking this assembly off. But this plastic handle comes off so easy. It's a lot easier just to take it off. Just one screw here hidden. And that's pretty much as simple. All we got to do now is put some fuel in it and see if it works. Alright, let's try it out. Give a minute or two for fuel to get up there. Hey! There we go. Okay, so I'm really glad to have this fixed. I don't know if you can see this or not. This saw was in really good shape, other than that ignition module went bad. Like I say, it had a relatively new blade, new bar, and now I've got a saw. I've got a bunch of saws, but this is probably the smallest one that I have. So this will be really nice for limbing and stuff. So the only issue I noticed is during that cranking process, look what fell off. It's the vent line. So I'll need to order a new one of those, but I'm really glad to have the saw running again. Anyway, if you have any questions or comments, shoot me a line. If you have one of these old Stihls sitting around, it looks like for most saws, you can pretty much buy everything relatively cheap and get these back up and running. I went ahead and I actually ordered a whole cylinder kit. I've got a carburetor for this saw if I need it, and luckily it was just that ignition module, so I expect this to last. If this lasts 5 years, I've saved a lot of money. You know, spent 15-20 bucks on a fuel line and ignition module. Anyway, hope to see you on the next one, and thanks for watching.